This week, SCP Anthology 2024, Town Hall, Prime Volgun, and we'll have Raddagher on to decide how kidnappable we are. Since our last episode, children's musical video series The Duck Song by YouTuber ForestFire101 released its final video with The Duck Song 5. This brings an end to a 15-year-long saga of a talking duck annoying the shit out of an owner of a lemonade stand while also bringing unexpected joy into his life as a result. If that's not a metaphor for the show, I don't know what is.
I'm Kelsey.
I'm Fern.
I'm Nolan, Decay of Silence, and this is SCP Weekly.
What have we been up to over the last 2 weeks?
Mainly just work, and it was a handful.
But it's the same job, right?
It's the same job as far as I'm aware.
That's always good news.
Yeah.
And Cassie's not with us because of work. She just hit us up actually about 30 minutes ago, maybe an hour ago, to let us know that she had a work thing come up, so she's not going to be able to be with us tonight. So, Fern, how's it been going for the last couple of weeks?
For the last couple weeks, I've been home alone. My family's currently in Florida. They were in Florida for Milton. They were just on the outside of that path.
Jesus.
So thankfully they're all safe.
Woof.
I know, it's hard to sleep with that. So I've kind of just been roughing it home alone, dealing with work as well. I can't wait for them to be back.
How much longer do you have?
The airport's just opened up on Friday, so now we're just trying to raise money for their tickets, so hopefully by Tuesday they can fly back.
That sucks. Did they already have tickets back and then they lost them because of the hurricane?
No, we were looking at booking near the end of their trip because they were in Atlanta first, but they drove to Florida the day before Milton dropped because they have family they were going to stay with, and as they're driving into Florida, they're seeing everyone evacuating. They're following ambulances in to Florida. It's like, oh,
yuck.
Shit, we're going into a hurricane.
Yeah, that's a thing that's happening right now. I'm glad to hear that they're
Again
safe.
and again.
Yeah.
You and me
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. My last 2 weeks has been fucking busy. How else are my last 2 weeks ever? My finals for the last 2 weeks had turned in my final project for my production class was 16 sets of documents. It was an entire production binder. 16 sets of documents and like a full film budget for $100,000 film, and then a narrated PowerPoint presentation. I worked a week on that. And then surprise final project for my other class. He said nothing about it through the entire class, and then the last night of class we were in, he was like, okay, we're going to do this as our final project. And we had to do an audio adaptation from scratch of the last scene of the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. From the time they finish the tour and Grandpa and Charlie go in and he's all pissed off at him and yelling at him, from that point to the end of the movie, we had to do an audio adaptation of that. And I'm done. I'm so done. I got a week off. Doing all of the pre-production work for the Ballad of Oath and Ashes, Dr. Gears Presents, the Tabletop RPG. Nolan, myself, Cassie, and Fantem will be playing. It looks like we'll be hitting session 1 a week from October 20th. It looks like we'll be hitting session 1 October 20th and streaming that live. Yeah. And then all the other normal things.
As someone who's basically like an outside to this, there's two main sagas that's always going on that thankfully are coming to an end. Nolan searching for a job, and Kelsey doing a million things at once. That's the constant.
That's not coming to an end for me, yeah.
Yeah, it's tales old as time.
Mm-hmm. Getting it. Mm-hmm. Well, the big thing going on with the wiki right now.
Yeah. Let's shift into on-site. The 2024 Anthology series is underway. For those somehow unaware, another anthology series is taking place throughout the entire month of October, where every day a different author will release an article related to the series' overarching theme, this year being phobias. Good friend of the show, Montague ETC, started us off with a bang by covering phobophobia, literally the fear of fear itself. And what better way to tackle such a phobia than with the embodiment of fear itself in SCP-2006. 17 of the 31 articles are now available to read. We will talk about some of our favorites so far later on this episode, but tell us in the comments, which has been your favorite anthology entry so far? The link to the hub will be in the show notes.
Members of the community recently gathered in the 2024 Town Hall to express their thoughts on subjects like contests, staff communication on 19 Cord, deleting the works of some problematic authors, Twitter engagement, interbranch vote tampering, Project Foundation, perceived biases in the critique process, staff transparency, collaboration resources, and general competence and capability of the staff. Preliminary responses from the site staff were released on October 13th, and the discussion is open for comments through October 20th. It looks like we'll be seeing an update to the wiki's author page requirements. In response to a 19 Cord update to author role requirements, Aster's Quill proposed that the requirements for an author page on the wiki be updated to require at least 3 pages with 10 or more upvotes, rather than the current 0 upvote requirement. Based on responses, it appears that the proposal will pass.
There goes my author page. Since last episode, there are 25 new SCP articles and 17 new tales. Any favorites for you guys?
I have a few. Kelsey, do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
Go ahead.
All right. I have 3 that I've listed as my favorites for this week. 2 of them are from the Anthology series. The first one is SCP-8980, Ergophobia, Without Regards, by Yasi Posse. I mean, what can I say that hasn't been said already with this article? For those unaware, this is currently by far the most upvoted article on the entire anthology so far, getting very close to getting 400 last I checked. Essentially, it's covering the story of one researcher who may be the victim of some kind of minor technological anomaly, but then again, maybe not. But even so, the story gets really, really fucking dark. Like, I'm not even joking. I can't talk about very much without spoiling it and ruining it for anyone who hasn't read, but Jesus Christ, this was one of the most horrifying things I had ever read on the entire wiki. Even more so that this is like an actual legitimate thing that people can go through every day, especially women or female representing people. It's Jesus. Okay. Yeah. But the next one is SCP-8558, Hedonophobia, Carnal Rotting, by Ori Tiefling. This is kind of in the same vein as Yasi's article as well. It's not as upvoted yet, but in this case, that doesn't matter because next to Yasi's, this was also one of the most horrifying things on the entire anthology, and possibly one of the most horrific things I've read. Like, Jesus Christ, these people are going all in for it. It is incredible. And again, I cannot speak too much about the plot without giving anything away that'll ruin things, but all I can say is you gotta read these for yourself. If you love the kind of horror that makes you feel absolutely disgusted, almost like you're having an out-of-body experience from it, you need to read these. It's unbelievable. They seriously brought their A game to this, to this series.
Yep, I just checked. Yassi's is pushing 400. It's at 383 right now.
Yeah. Wow. Hopefully that'll be 400 by the time this episode releases.
Yeah.
The last one on my list is SCP-8810. This one's not an anthology entry. Gods Be Sued on the Dance Floor by Dr. Bleep. This one is much more comedic in tone and very much so kind of, what's the word? Cathartic. Because the entire plot of this one is essentially, the way to describe it, an incel is trying to sue the Mesopotamian goddess of heaven because she did not fulfill her promise of giving him bitches. That's literally the plot, and it goes exactly how you would expect. Like, for most of it, it's like just the audio transcripts of the live recording of this local court ruling going on, and it just goes out of left field so quick, and it's hilarious. It just keeps going from there. But yeah, it's very much a good comedic relief, especially after reading some of the anthology so far.
Yeah.
Kelsey, you got yours?
Yeah, and I read Ori's today, and I was looking for, like, if I was to sum this up in one word, and I was reading through the comments, and I can't remember who posted it. Vile. Somebody was like, "This is vile," and I was like, that is exactly the word for this article. That was rough. That was a rough read.
Yeah. Ori and Yassi's, like, I felt like I was going to hurl by the end of it. Yeah. Like, I was that disgusted by the horror in it, in a good way. In a good way, though. That's how you can tell someone has written actual good horror to make you feel like that.
Yeah, Yassi's is good. Yassi's has the emotional impact. Ori's takes the cake for me. It's the visceral pull no punches. Like, there were no punches pulled in that article.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you look at the critters, I think Ekranak was one of them, and Ekranak has that reputation for being the master of body horror on the wiki.
Oh, yeah.
So to see that name, that made sense. My picks are, I always, as always, I love the short stories. 8594, it's called Leaves from the Vine. That's Plague PJP. It's very, very short, and it might take 2 or 3 reads through to actually pick up on what's going on. But it's short enough that it won't take you that long to read through it that many times. One of the quotes from that stood out to me was, "All organs will fail save for the brain, which remains unaffected throughout the illness." If that takes you to a place, then check that article out. 8594.
Jesus Christ.
SCP-1542, The Feral Cats of Site 34 by Uncle Nicolini. That's another really short one that surprised me when I went and looked at who the author was. I saw that it was Nico. That one's a really good one. It takes you on a little bit of a journey, a couple of click-throughs, and just a really wacky way to end something like that. And then SCP-8058, 2,600,000 batteries by Maple Strip. That is a factory article, and again, short little bite of horror and very, very punchy, well delivered. Really good visuals in that one too.
All right, Fern, you gotten any favorites you have these last 2 weeks?
All of mine are from Anthology because I've been trying to keep up with them. For me, it's 8876, which is J. Dunes, which is Anthrophobia. 8430 by Big Salt on My Face. That one is by far my favorite. Big Salt on My Face is Prosophophobia. Shook me to the core. We all talk about AI. This is the most realistic AI turning bad I've ever seen in any media So that one, and 8894, for obvious reasons, if you read it, you get it. The religion part of it, Basophobia. I've never been more afraid of dirt in my life. I won't say any more without spoiling it, but Cube Flicks. SD Lock warned me about 8894, saying if you like religious horror, this one will get to you. They were not kidding. The almost sermon method the addendums deliver. Religious horror is the only thing that can actually affect me, and Cube Flicks delivered excellently.
Yeah. And especially for those viewers unaware, Fern is an actual minister, so it goes double on that
ordained and
front.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
God help us.
God help us all.
Oh, he ain't helping with this, guys. I can tell you that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And now with that horror out of the way, let's take a break and we'll be back with off-site news.
I want this to be my ringtone on my phone. I'm sorry. So, Doug and I have done this item before, and we love it. It's the Confinement Comics Nighttime Bedtime Book and Sticker Set. It's customer top rated for a number of reasons, but our Kickstarter price is $13. You're saving $3.50 today. I gotta say, the fact that we ship internationally is incredible. Your item number is T541-42069. Very nice. So here's the cool thing. You have a lot of choices. You have different SCPs you can choose. You have the Sony Genesis, the Never-Ending Pizza Box, Fernand the Cannibal, and you also have P-Shud number 31. He's like P-Shud. And these are all anomalies that meant so much to, at least to me, when I was growing up. But there's a different twist now. They're laced with messages. So I'm going to bring in Doug so we can talk about all these messages and the choices that you can choose for your little one when it's time to wind down. They say reading to your baby will make these stories comfy and cozy, and I absolutely agree with it. Doug, where are you? Because listen, I'm starting to talk in a hushed tone now. I'm starting to wind down a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. So these are, well, we know number one that the most important thing you can do is to read to your children. Read to them at bedtime, read to them at nap time, and that you will instill a love for reading, and then they will read on their own. A lot of times they read from these books and we think that they're learning to read or that they are reading, but they're actually just repeating what they've heard over and over, and then suddenly they are reading. So this comes from the American Sticker Company. They make these beautiful, soft, silky stickers that match the book. So you're going to get that combination set together in front of you. You've got Peanut ready to go. That's the way it comes packed up. The sticker is 51 by 51 millimeters, so this is adorable. And it is a true baby sticker size. And what I mean by that is it's easy for them to pull and carry around with them because it is the right size for a little one. Look how adorable this is. So, great illustrations. These are way updated for today's children. That is the Hard to Kill reptile. Do you remember that one? They were disgusting.
I do now. Before I wasn't sure. It wasn't the most popular like Peanut, but now I do remember it.
So, issue 3, which is 80-pound weight, by the way, which I absolutely love. Mr. Wilson, pull me out, they're coming. It's Dr. F. Wilson. I did not go through 5 years of school and internships not to be regarded as such. So these words are adorable. The sentences are perfect, and the illustrations are amazing. Look at that. And what happens is they will have the same art style on the stickers.
Yeah.
And they will have it with them wherever they go. And it will remind them of the story or the phrasing, however you do it. Don't you wish you had this adorable Peanut? Beautiful, soft luster. It's a lustrous sticker. No cracks, no shedding, hypoallergenic. Easy to clean, by the way, tumble dry. It's just perfect. Just don't use dryer sheets. That could cause an RK class reality restructuring event. You don't need anything like that. They're silky and shiny as it is. Whichever one you choose, it's a hard decision to make, I gotta be honest, because they're all that.
Well, listen, at this price you could get how much. We know how important reading is, but also, can you put a price tag on moments when you're reading to your child or your grandchild? You cannot, and so books are something that they're always going to benefit from. I remember my mom would read for me, it was a Pepper's Ghost Story, and I think it said something like, "Stop reading this and go away, this poem wasn't meant for you," or something like that. I can't even remember, but listen, I'm far from being 3 years old, but I still remember the times when she would read to me, and she said sometimes it would get late and she would say it wrong and I would correct her, still not knowing how to read, but I would correct her, and it's those moments that we look for. And Doug, we talked about two different things. One is we love pairs. I love stickers and books, but I also love the message that's in this. It isn't just about reading, it's about never giving up and all the other messages that are laced into each of these stories.
That's right. And you know what? These are customer top rated. When people get these home, they absolutely love them. They just love the stickers, the smooth and silkiness. They love the real book. They love the messaging. So it's just about whatever one you choose. So many people will remember so many of these choices. Again, which one is the most difficult decision you have to make?
So many choices, and I'll give them to you again. Fine dining, Connor turns into a log in this one, and 31 meatball subs and counting. It's the Confinement Comics Nighttime Bedtime Book and Sticker Set. Pre-sale price $13 per issue. That's a savings of $3.50. Thank you so much, Doug. I can't wait to read every one of these. And friends, for all of those that love existential bedtime horror stories for the look.
Thanks to our sponsor, PvP Potion by Dado. Lately, Dado has been think about game industry, and Dado see potential of esports in making Dado good money in modern world society. So Dado makes wonderful new product to improve Minecraft PvP performance. Dado guarantee you will not get banned. If you like this content, then hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications for the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, that's what the algorithm likes, and it would really help us get the word out about what's going on in the SCP community. If you want to support us beyond that, you can sponsor the show at patreon.com/scpweekly for as little as $2 a month.
And now, in offsite news. After taking a hiatus for the last several weeks, SCP Archives returns with 3 new episodes continuing their ABCs of Death season, with SCP-7759, T is for Transmissions by Swordlover87, SCP-7795, D is for 13 by Trintavan, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, and SCP-7840, U is for Unstrung by Grigory Karpin. Only 8 episodes remain for the season, with the next episode releasing on October 24th with SCP-7841, V is for Violence by Tanhoney. You can find them on Spotify and wherever else podcasts are played.
Episode 6 just released for Hymns for the Road. For those unaware, this is the second audio series written and directed by today's guest, Anna Maguire, following 4 survivors of a magical apocalypse on a road trip across what used to be the United States, as they encounter otherworldly creatures, esoteric rules of survival, and impossible landscapes. The episode, titled The Quiet Street, is described simply by the series creators at Hodgepodge Audio Fiction as, y'all ever seen unedited footage of a bear? For those who understand that reference, you get it. New episodes release every Saturday on Spotify and wherever else podcasts are played.
The Volgun once again proved himself quick to the trigger with creating an audio adaptation of an article in the Wiki's ongoing Anthology series. Volgun covers SCP-8091, Pyrophobia, Burn With Me by Kathy Autumn, which follows what initially appears to be a simple anomaly where fire will burn hotter and longer where certain conditions are met. However, after finding what appears to be some sort of scripture when one event concluded, there may be something more sinister behind the scenes. Link to the video in the show notes.
Hello.
Hello. And now for our very special guest this week. Some of you may know her as the creator of the award-winning audio series Find Us Alive. Others might know her for grabbing SCP content farms by the throat and tearing them a new asshole. But to us, she'll always be the undisputed #1 author on the entire SCP Wiki, who this community cannot exist without. And we're definitely not saying that under threat of being thrown into her basement with other content creators she may or may not have kidnapped. Raddagher, welcome to the show.
Hey guys. I am indeed the creator of a podcast that has definitely won things. It
is definitely
has
won something.
Not only nominated, but it's totally won stuff.
Totally counts as being called award-winning.
It's won stuff in our hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's won
All
people's
around.
hearts. That's what's the award-winning part.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for deciding to come on to the show. We have honestly talked about this for a while, about having a Raddagher episode, but none of us could really figure out, like, one, how to contact you, and two, if you would even bother coming on.
Well, it's a good thing I have all of your home addresses then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been collecting them over the
it's-
years.
Absolutely.
I've noticed
as one would.
a out of place van in front of my place for the last couple of days, and I didn't know if it was the SWAT team
Oh,
or what.
I don't
but
know
now
what
kinda-
that's not me or anything. You can go into the
Yeah.
back of it if you want to, though.
How the
As
hell did
long
you
as
cross
there's
the border?
Oh, you know. I paid people off with my lots and lots of monies.
Yeah.
all the
I mean,
money.
honestly, if you're willing to come to the ass crack of Utah, that's on you. But so
All my money that I make from being an SCP podcaster.
Yeah.
Rolling
Yeah,
in.
the
So
millions that you have earned.
I'm rolling in it.
Absolutely.
You guys
as-
just
as
don't
all authors are.
understand.
We're a very big deal.
The lucrative
over here on
SCP business.
scpweekly.com.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually filming from my yacht, from the basement of my yacht.
Damn.
Yeah, I have no debt. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no
Beach
loans I
house,
need
y'all.
to pay off.
Beach house.
I don't even have to worry
Oh.
about rent. I've never even thought about it.
Yeah.
Rent. People rent.
Oh,
Just
I mean,
own
sorry.
it.
I mean my mortgage that I have.
That's the thing that other people pay you to live in your houses, right?
Yeah, my
Rent?
multiple
I've
houses
heard of
that I
that.
have.
I don't know. Let me ask my
Yeah.
accountant what that is.
Renter. Hardly even know. her.
Anyway, in all seriousness, we're very excited to have you here today. To start off before the interview, we usually like to break the ice with our guests by playing a game, Fact or Myth. For those unaware, Fact or Myth is exactly what it sounds. Our guest gives us one fact and one not fact about themselves, and it's all up to all of us to try to guess which one is actually true. Because there have been some pretty fucking bizarre ones we've gotten on this show.
Would you like me to
So,
get
Rad,
started?
you have any for us?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here are my two statements. Whether or not
Mm-hmm.
one is true is up to you to decide, and also reality, because one of them happened. My uncle was the voice of Mr. Incredible. Lin-Manuel Miranda tweeted about me once.
Ooh. God damn, that's tough. I mean, Lin-Manuel Miranda, I could easily look up and see if there was tweets. What is it? Was it just like adding you, or was it like about your show?
I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
All you
Fuck,
get is the
that's right.
statement.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
Your uncle was the voice of Mr. That's Craig T. Nelson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Your uncle is Craig T. Nelson or Lynn Miranda. I'm going with Lynn. I'm going with the tweet, because if Craig T. Nelson was your uncle, you wouldn't be creating content in the SCP universe. You would be doing other stuff. Nepotism is alive and well.
You know what? I'm going to argue against Kelsey and say that your uncle is Mr. Incredible. Because,
All right.
yeah, nepotism, maybe it just doesn't hit as hard in your family, so I guess. Fern, what do you think?
Fern, you're the tiebreaker.
Here's the thing. Both of these are actually pretty easily, Googleable. You can look up Lin-Manuel Miranda's
You
Twitter
just made
to
up
find out.
2 words.
Also, you can look up if Craig T. Nelson has family. Nepotism is real. I don't know how well it's effective for nieces of voice actors for Pixar. Why would
Craig T.
Lin-Manuel
Nelson
Miranda
has
tweet about
done a
you?
lot more things than just voice acted for Pixar.
Oh yeah, I know, but an uncle, niece. I know father, son, direct, but uncles, aunts, nieces, nephews. I don't know if nepotism is that strong. Then again, I'm not in entertainment business. But for the sake of believability,
Because you don't have an
I am going to
uncle
lean
in the
towards
entertainment business, man.
Mr. Incredible is your uncle. I think Mr. Incredible is your uncle.
When do I get to reveal the truth?
You can tell us when we wrap.
Cool.
Yeah. Whenever we're not recording.
Yeah.
So Kelsey doesn't have to edit that out. Like he has to do
She-
it every
Some
episode.
people listening to this might know already.
Yeah, she is itching to tell us, too. I can see it on her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moment that we post this on YouTube, that's the comments saying like, "Oh no, this is true." I know
Real Rad
in real
fans
life."
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've known for years. We've known for years. It was like the Cactus one where he was like something about his brothers, and people were like, dude, do you know Cactus? Do you even know him?
that
Like,
one.
no, we
I was
don't.
right
Do
about that.
you?
Do you even cactus, bro?
Yeah.
Only the
I
raddest
do, because I live
know
in
the
Utah,
answer.
and there are cactuses here.
Hell
Not the
yeah,
cool
same.
ones, though.
I live in the desert part of Utah. It fucking sucks here.
It's all the desert part of Utah.
Yeah.
I mean, except for like
It's the
north,
Southwest.
but like,
That's like saying
mean-
the white part of bird shit.
I mean, it is. It's very white down here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Are you in the red part?
I don't know if it constitutes as the red part.
If you go outside and look with your eyes, is it red?
Oh, I thought you were mean like, is it like
Like politically?
in like voting wise?
Well, it's
is it
all
red?
politically
I'm
red,
well,
but like,
we're-
I mean
we're in Utah,
physically
so it's-
red.
Yeah. No, yeah, it is red.
Yeah.
It is red.
That part of the state's cool. At least to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a whole thing of like in town the last few years of being called like the Dixie of Utah because we had to like
Oh, yeah.
changing
I know exactly
the
where you
name
are.
and everything. Yeah. Oh fuck! Now I let you know. Now you're gonna come find me.
I mean,
God
not
damn
that I
it.
didn't
Yay,
already, because
doxing.
of one of my vans is parked outside your place.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
of
I'm not
course.
really sure why you'd want to take me. I mean, my credit score is non-existent, but hey, I'm just glad to be wanted.
Yep.
It's the voice.
Yeah.
You will be a great thing to feed the creature.
Oh, absolutely. I've got a lot of meat I could provide. Oh, you can tell we're all autistic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's an SCP thing. That's
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
it's like a magnet for autistic people.
Yeah.
It's true.
Neurodivergence, academics, and
Yeah.
MTF fanboys.
Yep.
If you're not some flavor of neurodivergence, you're not allowed into the community. That's just the rule.
Yeah. You can be neurodivergent or you can be some flavor of gay. That's
Yeah.
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 Either you're autistic as
MTF
fuck or you're
stands for
queer
multiple
sexual. That's the
things.
only two. That's the only true indicator.
I've gotten that confused multiple times.
Oh yeah. Anyway.
So speaking of qualifiers for the SCP community, Raddagher, how did you find your way into the SCP community?
When I was I mean after I invented it, of course.
Of course.
When I was, I think, 14, a friend of mine in high school who was like a couple years older than me, me and him and my older brother and his younger sister took his phone out into the woods and we read 087 out loud, just like in like a paintball fortress that somebody made in the forest. and that's how I discovered it. And then like I lurked for what, like 8 years or something, and then I didn't get an account until like 2019, I think.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I just never really remembered to do it because I didn't need an account to just read shit. So I just read shit and then didn't vote on anything. And
That's about how long I've been in the community. It seems like you've been writing as long as I've been around. That's
I
wild.
published my
Yeah.
first stuff. Let's see. I was a senior in college, so it must have been 2019 when I actually started publishing things. Because before that, I was a faceless lurker.
Yeah, I think it was around the same time for me too, because I remember it was like late 2019, early 2020 that I first stumbled upon exploring series videos. Like the very first SCP thing I was exposed to was Cactus's 001, and I was immediately hooked. And I don't think I made an actual account until like 2 years ago.
Yeah. I don't know why it works like that, but
yeah, no
I
idea.
had like an SCP phase instead of a creepypasta phase, like most
Yeah, and that's
high
where
school
most
freshmen.
most people either come this way through creepypasta or TV tropes or one of those other wikis.
Yeah.
And I think you're only the second person that we've talked to that actually had somebody in real life say, "Hey, check this SCP thing
Yeah.
out."
Well, I think that he watched Markiplier. I think that's how he found out about it.
Yep,
But then, you know, it
Markiplier.
was a ghost story, and we're like, let's go. Wait, I lied. It wasn't 087, it was 093. The red sea object.
Okay.
That's the one.
Ah.
Because I think we played the 087 game later together. The really shitty one from like years ago. Pre
087
Slender
would be a
Man.
good campfire. Would be a good campfire story to read out loud.
Yeah, it was great. It was so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that there's like it's not a new 087 game, but Kelsey, you remember because I shared it with you and Cassie, or one of us shared it with each other about the stairwell that being made into like a short-ish game recently.
That'd be a short game.
Yeah,
Well,
the
no,
one...
because it was like it's like a new one that's like expands upon it of being like not just a stairwell, but it like expands to like its whole own like dimension,
thing.
sort of like,
Like a
a
pocket
back
universe,
kind
like
of
106?
vibe, except like not instead of like office spaces, it's more like a weird ass like liminal space university kind of
Corridors.
setting,
Yeah.
sort of. Yeah.
I have very fond memories of that first stairwell game. It was short and sweet. It was very simple. It was just you go down a staircase, there's some spooky noises, and then a guy jumps out. Sometimes that's all you need.
Love it.
Is it like the a stairway version of what's the game where you got to trace through the things, and if you bump the side, the thing comes out and jump scares you?
I don't even think there was even that much to it. It was just that you'd go down, and then after a certain number of floors, it would make some spooky noises, and then some stuff would pop out. That was just sort of the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. Fan games are always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next question, what inspired you to kind of like become an audio creator? Like what inspired you to create Find Us Alive and more recently Hymns for the Road?
I'm too broke for film, and I'm not talented enough for animation.
Fair enough.
The nice thing about like fiction podcasts is they're so easy to do with no budget. And it was just like a for fun thing that I was doing with my friends and my now girlfriend. Yeah, I was working at a hotel conference center setting up chairs on the night shift. And that's where the idea happened.
So
Fair enough.
like you said, it's very easily doable. And film major right now, 100%. You don't have the money for film. Nobody has the money for film. You ran a Kickstarter for Hymns for the Road. I think
did.
you guys collected, what was it, a 2-month Kickstarter? You guys
No, it was
wound up-
one.
It was a 1-month Kickstarter, but you guys wound up collecting what, like 12, 13 grand?
Yeah, it was between there. It was like... Was it like... I don't remember exactly because in 2023 I won a grant that was also like a similar amount of money, and I get them confused. But I think it was like 12,500 or something like that. We made our goal.
Yeah.
So barely, but we made it.
And I highlight that to say, kudos. That's what separates the amateurs from the pros, is being able to raise the funds to do it.
Would not recommend running a Kickstarter. That was like the most stressful month of my life.
Yeah, crowdfunding crowdfunding is not the way. But you gotta have rich family like Craig T. Nelson. So That's
I see
another
what
reason.
you're doing.
Yet
I see what
another
you're doing
reason. Yet another reason I picked the other one.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can already kind of guess where Find Us Alive kind of came from, being an SCP project and all. But Hymns for the Road is a bit different, being that while Find Us Alive, of course, was centered, around the SCP Wiki, Hymns for the Road takes a lot more of a, very just like cryptid horror vibe to it. Can you explain a little bit of what drove you to make that kind of story?
COVID. I wrote the pilot of that when I got laid off during lockdown from my job, and then I moved like the day afterward because our landlord sold our house out from under us like 3 months into our lease.
Jesus Christ.
It was a really rough year for me. And I wrote the pilot. I was in a screenwriting class. Like, as I had already graduated, but it was a like continuing education thing because it was such an amazing class and there were lots of students who did that. And I brought the first drafts of the first two episodes to that class, and they were like mostly vent art because it was such a bleak time period in my life, and that's like how a lot of it is informed. It's kind of bleak. But yeah, I mean that's how you get real art is you write from in here.
You take the horror of real life.
Yeah. So that was people think that FUA is a COVID show because it's about people getting locked in a room, and it aired in September right before COVID. But yeah, like most of the plot was blocked out like before the show even aired. So like I knew where it was going before we like really started production meaningfully. So FUA is not the COVID show. Hymns is the COVID show.
Yeah. Speaking of FUA, did you ever expect the show to take off as much as it has within the community?
Oh God, no. It was just like something that I was doing in my free time, just because it was fun. And I had like infrastructure in place in case it did happen. I mean, I made a Patreon pretty quick after it started airing, but I didn't expect that it would like pay my bills at some point. So it's gotten way bigger than I thought it would.
Yeah, it's like, holy shit, people actually are all paying me for it.
Yeah. People are writing fanfic of the characters I made. That is wild.
Yeah, you know you've made it when somebody makes weird Rule 34 out of your character.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well, they're all adults, so go nuts.
Well, yeah. They're all adults.
They're all adults and none of them are related.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all hopefully consensual, but like, you know, it's still Rule 34, so it can be pretty weird. Anyway,
there was tentacle porn one time that I saw. Art of tentacle porn.
What was that, the greenie?
I do not disapprove of that, by the way.
Oh, of course. You know, yeah, because no matter where you are on the sexuality spectrum, you know, anyone can be a slut if they want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta have the confidence for it.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't shame.
Yeah.
Sorry, was this supposed to be like safe for work? Because I feel like
nope.
No, you're fine. You can talk about whatever.
SCP is not for children. This show is not for kids.
Yeah, I soundly agree with that.
The show is sin clean. Don't worry about it.
Right, if you, I don't know how much of this show you have seen, but we have constantly tried to get ourselves canceled for just saying the most off-book shit all the time.
Oh. Well, you gotta get yourself canceled by saying something woke.
Yeah.
You gotta be like,
You know-
I think that women should have rights, and then people will hate
Oh,
your guts.
God, no.
Actually,
Why?
we've had kind of the opposite reaction. If you say anything slightly like that can be perceived as unwoke, is that a word? I made up a word. Yeah, that's where we get.
I think the word is racist.
No, like not just racist. Well, all of the spectrum of things. But yeah, I'm happy to be in a community that gives a shit for like, did you mean that you like? No, that's actually not what I meant. But
Yeah, sometimes it's encouraging that people, have their finger on the pulse.
Care.
Yeah.
It's generally a progressive space.
yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoy.
Not
being in
there
space
are
like that.
pockets, but
We did our best to
Yeah,
keep
there's
those
the
people
usual
out.
RPC, but,
I mean, no one's even on there anymore. Let's be real.
No,
They publish like
dead as
once
hell.
every 3 months.
they're dead. It's so dead.
Yeah.
they really thought... Anyway,
Rip.
I think the next question is
Yeah,
yours.
next question. Thank you for giving me this question. Why do you absolutely fucking hate content farms?
Because they're not art. I think it's mainly because they're a byproduct of capitalism, where everything is commodified down to the point where we don't even really understand the purpose anymore. I have a lot of really strong feelings about art for children, because that was what I originally went to school for. I wanted to make like middle grade cartoons, and I worked in a preschool for a while, and I have a lot of strong opinions about what we show to kids and why. And I think we live in an era where we just want children to shut the fuck up all the time, and so we make garbage that just like stimulates their brains too much and doesn't give them anything useful. And content farms are, especially in the SCP space, notorious for targeting children to make money, because kids don't have taste. They can't like discern what is good for them and what isn't. And instead of like making fresh new horror content for children, instead of like making dedicated stuff where the intended audience is kids and you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, because there's plenty of good children's horror out there, and content farms are not it. They're just like horror for adults but made worse so that they can get a million kids watching it on repeat.
Yeah, low quality
Yeah.
grown up horror.
Yeah, there's always a difference between content creators that actually care about the source and community that they're producing said content from, like the Volgun or the Exploring series, because they make some pretty high quality work, especially like voice actors like Volgun.
Yeah.
Like they always try to give the best, because they're just like, hey, this is a great thing, this is a great community, I want to give something that's very fucking high quality, or at least the best I can do to show that support, while also, giving credit where it's due. And then, but for every Volgun, there's the rubber.
There are 3 more
Yeah,
sweatshop
Yeah.
animation channels.
For every Exploring series, there's an SCP Explained, which, oh god, the downfall I saw on that channel.
I
It's
remember
sad too, because
in the Internet Outreach server, if you guys are in there, I remember when they were talking to the guy who runs like the original channel. I think it's like the infographics show or something. When he was starting to do SCP videos, and people on staff had to be like, hey man, listen, you have to make a dedicated channel because SCP will eat your content. Like, you can't, if you make any SCP stuff, you're an SCP channel now. And
yeah.
I remember when they were
Yeah,
talking
and
to him about that.
Yeah, I remember the fucking Rounder House controversy video that they did.
Which
of, like,
one?
that
happened, like, 3 times.
I'm remembering the one where they made Rounder into an ugly white guy.
Yeah.
With a bowl cut.
And he got so pissed at that, he made a tail,
He was.
just showing his violent rage towards
That was two separate things, because they depicted Director House as a white man, and that's why Rounder wrote that tale. But they've also, like, depicted Rounder House, the author, as a white guy. That's, like, the ugly one with the weird ears. That's not, like, the character, that's, like, him, the author.
Yeah.
Which is just so many levels of bad. Really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, and if anyone who follows Rounder's Twitter, you'd see he's a very good-looking guy.
He
he's
posts
a
pictures
very
of himself all the time. It's not hard to figure out what he
very
looks
good
like.
looking. Yeah.
Yeah, he shows how handsome he is almost every day, and I am personally offended by that.
Yeah, he's like turn a straight dude gay good looking.
He speaks the truth.
He's got
God.
he's too baby-faced for me. I'm too
But
old.
he is a baby though. He is a baby.
What is he, like 21 or something?
He just turned 21
I think
this
he's
year.
Like that,
Yeah.
I think
He's
he's
an infant to me.
2021.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, God,
and he's
he's
wrote
old?
some of the best shit I've read on the wiki.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
God
very
damn.
talented.
That's so I gotta say I've watched a lot of your videos on content farms, and a lot of the your approach in the media is poking fun and highlighting and kind of making a raucous good time out of pointing the finger at them and saying, hey, this is fucked up by what they're doing. But your take on children's horror is like I'm really on board with that as a parent, and my daughter is kind of getting to the age where Coraline is a huge thing, and she's starting I took her to see Beetlejuice, and she's really liking that kind of stuff. First of all, thank you for being a champion for that area of media, and second, if you take on any endeavors in that area of media, hit me up.
Will do. I've thought about making like a kids podcast at some point, but I don't know how much of an audience there actually would be for that. But it's in the back of my brain.
There's so much good
down for
children's
that.
horror.
As a parent who's always looking for something wholesome, like wholesome horror for my child.
Like age appropriate horror.
Yeah.
That's like scary enough to still be fun, but not
and not
adult
suck.
scary.
Yeah. And not suck.
something akin to like scary stories to tell in the dark.
That I
kind of thing.
had a girl in my daycare center who would bring one of those books to school, and every time that we had like an off couple of minutes, they would have me read one of them because they were kids love horror. You just have to make stuff that's like for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's why
any
Goosebumps
of
was
you guys
so
heard
fucking
of-
popular
Yeah.
with our generation.
There's the Campfire Weenies anthology series. Like 6 books, all anthology horror stories, and they range from kind of goofy horror, but it's all kids horror, to genuinely disturbing, but still, this is kids horror, but it's effective kids horror. Mm-hmm. There's so much out there, just not many people
Oh, I
know
remember
about it.
those now. Oh my god.
So
I
good.
forgot
that was
all
an
about
introduction to
them.
horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
God.
Scary stories to tell in the dark fucked me up when I was.
Oh
a kid.
yeah,
And
I
it
had
wasn't the
nightmares because of that
stories.
book.
I love
It was the
them.
illustrations.
Mm-hmm.
The illustrations
pictures.
were fucked up in those stories.
So
Yeah,
good.
I never read the books, at least not to my memory, but I do remember watching the film when it came out, and at the very least, like the one about like the scarecrow, like the kid turning into like straw, like that was like genuine body horror. I'm like, holy shit, kids read that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they love it. They love it so much.
So good.
My
They're
god.
learning. They're learning about the world. Horror's a
Yeah.
good way to explore complex emotions.
Yes.
Yep. All right. Next question. Who, in your opinion, would be the most kidnappable member of the SCP community?
All of them. Give me a second. I'll think of something. I'm going to exclude people that I've already made, that I mentioned in like that video. So Sherm doesn't
Yeah,
count.
because you've already mentioned how easy Sherm is because he's a theater kid and loves dramatics.
Yeah. I think I also did Volgun. He was in there. I think there were a couple other people in there. There are a lot of people who trust me. They'd be the easiest. Because I could just simply say, get in my van. And they'd be like, okay, are we going to the park? And I'd be like, yes. And it would be a lie.
Or people like who have never met you but know of your reputation and be like, holy shit, it's the Raddagher, the #1 author
The
on
number
the
one
entire
author,
wiki.
the creator of the wiki.
Yeah.
Don't verify
you
that.
said you have you said you have candy. Okay, yeah, I'll get in your van.
I've got so many upvotes back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got
I
red karma. Come back here and you'll
shit.
get red karma by your username.
Stop selling. You've sold me. I'm getting in.
You were my target the whole time. Gotcha.
Yeah, I was that weird fat kid you were trying to
I'm gonna lure you in with all the upvotes and comments.
Oh
God.
I think Grigori
Oh,
would
God.
be probably the most cartoonishly comedic real life extraction. Like, imagining dragging Grigori Karpin out of a building and into the back of a van, I think would be the most entertaining.
You know who I think would be hard to kidnap, actually? Raddagher. Because I've met that dude in real life, and they're like 6'5".
Raguel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like enormous.
In my opinion, I feel like Harry Blank might be easy to kidnap, because for some reason, it's not just that he created the character, but he gives the vibe to me that he is the real-life William Weddle.
I want to say yes because he's very sweet, but at the same time, if you've ever seen him like act in a staff capacity, it's a very different energy. He can do what needs to be
the
done.
Professor switch on for the staff.
I've
stuff.
mainly interacted him in our D&D campaign, and I just think like, oh yeah, this guy's easy to kidnap.
Oh, he's a sweetie, yeah.
But he's also
Yeah.
the kind of Canadian that would announce to everybody, "Okay, guys, I'm wearing my admin hat now."
Yeah. Yeah, his
Keep
professional
forgetting Harry's a
voice
professor.
is peak.
Who do you think, Fern?
Easiest or hardest to kidnap?
Easiest.
Easiest to kidnap? Probably myself.
Yeah, I believe it.
You just walk right into
I'm
the
pretty-
back of
I'm
that
pretty-
van.
Oh yeah, hey, we have 3
I
upvotes in
probably
here.
would, yeah.
You dive in head first.
Yeah, it's like, I'm pretty easy. I think the hardest would probably be either Harry Blank or Cactus. I can't imagine Cactus not having
Well,
like
Cactus,
a
'cause
full
he's
bodyguard
prickly.
around him at all times.
Well, and he's
Yeah.
like 6'8".
Yeah,
He's
he's
fucking
got
6
like
foot and
his,
has, like,
his
5
squad
bodyguards.
of fans
Yeah.
surrounding
Yeah,
him at all
Actually, has to go
times.
all the way to Iceland to kidnap him now.
Does he live in Iceland?
He just moved there.
Yeah, he moved there for work in the past few months.
What does he do?
He's on
Viking
the
stuff.
creative communication team for what's the game company? They make EVE Online. And this
So is he
Docs.
moving there for like research?
No, he's moving there for work. Like the company is based in Iceland, so he moved
Oh,
there. Yeah, he's like
why are there?
like
There seems to be so many game companies that are like in that region.
I don't know, maybe it's the geothermic power they can run all their servers off of. I don't know. I just made that up.
Probably.
That's a good idea.
They have houses with grass on the roofs. I like that.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah.
The
Their
aesthetics.
3D printing house industry is booming.
Awesome.
I made that up too.
Oh.
Well, I believed you because I'm a
See?
fool.
Gullible.
I've got a van over here. There's candy inside.
My van is
What
cooler.
kind?
It has speakers and it's playing your favorite tunes.
Mine's painted like the A-Team.
Mine has a wizard
She
painted
won
on
with
it,
tunes.
like airbrushed.
She won me with favorite tunes.
Yeah, it has
I'm in
tunes
the van
and it has
already.
all of your favorite authors complimenting your latest article.
Mine's
saying
got a
how good it
bodybuilding
is.
unicorn painted on the ceiling and like a...
I have weed.
You insult.
I mean, I would have tried to lure you in with, you know, blasting punk rock music from the back of my van, but that's just all I know.
You might need a little bit more than that.
Probably.
You seen that the action figure therapy jungle when he's talking about his van?
No.
Okay, I'm recommending you to Google or search on YouTube action figure therapy jungle's van. It's fucking amazing.
I will try to do that if I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Fern, you're up next again.
Ooh, double dipping Fern.
Woo. What has been one of your favorite moments or memories in your years within this community?
Okay, I was a chat op the day that Markiplier made that video about Andre Dukeson. And we got flooded with so many people. It was hilarious. I was at work at my office job, and like, I don't remember who was in there with me. I think it was someone who is no longer in the community. But we were in there just like answering questions and stuff, and all of a sudden there's like 3 new users every minute. And we were like, what the fuck is going on? And then one of the staff members just came in and said, Markiplier. And we were like, oh! And we spent the rest of the day just like dealing with all these people that were like asking us all these dumb questions. Because Markiplier flooded the wiki with more users. It was really funny. It was also
God
cool to
bless
see so many people
Markiplier.
come together for that. That was,
God
I mean,
bless Markiplier.
we bankrolled that GoFundMe in like an hour or something after he made that video. It was wild.
Love to see it.
That was pretty cool.
That's a historic
There have
moment.
been
Go,
lots of
Fern.
good moments.
Alright, and another one. What made you realize being a creator was the path for you?
I have always known that if I don't make art, I will die. I knew that I
is a
wanted to be an
medical
artist
fact.
since I could like
Relatable.
hold a crayon. I used to pretend to write when I was a toddler. I would write Powerpuff Girls fan fiction, except I couldn't actually write English, so I would just take color-coded crayons and just like scribble to be like the lines that they were saying. And yeah.
What's your-
I think that if I couldn't make art, I would wither away.
What's your favorite kind of art to create?
I mean, I love to write. I think that's my favorite part of the process. I'm working on repairing my relationship with drawing, cause art school does things to a motherfucker. It's not always the best choice for everyone going to college for drawing, because it can destroy your self-esteem. And I'm working on rebuilding that, but I'll get there eventually. But writing's great. Writing's really fun.
It's great.
Outside of writing for the wiki and writing for your podcast, are you doing any other writing?
My friend group plays a lot of tabletop games. A lot of like the writing that I do for myself for fun is just like I will write like a campaign setting or a homebrew class or something. Yeah, just I mean, a lot of my hobby writing is for the wiki, but when it's the kind of stuff that I'm not showing anyone, it's usually stuff like that, just like mechanical D&D or Mothership stuff. I run a little campaign for my girlfriend that is a lot of fun. Yeah.
What's your dream? Like, so you're doing the podcast, you're doing the SCP, like, as far as making your creative efforts a career, supporting yourself, thriving off of it, being able to build a legacy. Like, what's your dream for that? If
Honestly, I just want to keep doing exactly what I'm doing, but make slightly more money. If everything was exactly the same as it is now, but I made like $1,000 more per month, my life would be perfect.
Hell yeah.
I'm super fortunate to like be in the position that I am. And I try to use that to the best of my ability because like I get to do this full time for the moment. Maybe I won't always, I hope so, but it's yeah, like I am kind of living the dream. As much as I would love to, you know, become famous. I mean, not really, but like I don't know, it'd be fun to like be a guest at cons or something. It'd be fun to voice act in like a bigger project at some point. But I don't feel like I need any of that. It would just be cool if it happened. But
yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of living the dream already.
The creative output with the financial input without the fame.
Yeah, like I don't want to get too big because then people start getting weird about what you do.
Yes.
You gotta have like the sweet spot where you are known enough to have a steady income, but still underground enough that people aren't like hating on you for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Niche. Stay niche.
Yeah. Niche.
Sherm
Sherm taught me a horrible word. We went to LA this summer, for that live event thing, the Mechanite
Reforged.
play thing.
Reforged,
It was awesome.
yeah.
And he texted me like the day before and was like, "Hey, do you want to come to LA tomorrow?" Because emotional entropy had to drop because they got really
sick
sick
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really sad. But yeah, so he flew me out like the next morning. But I was talking to him and Eric, and we were talking about how do we tell people what we're doing without using the word influencer, because it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And we're in the back of this Uber, and Sherm goes, "Nimcel." And me and Eric are like, "What did you just say?" And he said it stands for Niche Internet Micro Celebrity. And we all came to the conclusion that it sounds like a slur.
It kind of does.
I hate that so much.
That's just like, it's just the worst.
It
Top
feels
10
like
words that shouldn't have been
calling
invented.
You an incel, but as a content creator.
Yeah,
Nimcel.
yeah, it's awful.
Oh my god.
And yo,
So
right
if
in
you
the
ever need to
backyard
bully
in LA,
Sherm,
can't
just
believe
call
it.
him that.
I'm gonna put that on a resume.
Professional
Nimcel.
I
Nimcel.
just missed the opportunity to meet Sherm like a month ago. I could have said it.
You could have. And now you'll just have to,
Yeah,
like, add him on Twitter or whatever.
We're
Yeah, I
mutuals
mean,
now.
he finally followed me on Twitter, so it's only a matter
Yeah,
of time.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna text him, Nimcel.
He'll probably know it's from me, too.
With no context, just, hey Sherm, Nimcel.
Remember that? Remember that horrible word you taught me?
Immediately sends you a restraining order.
Blocked.
Okay. So we've talked a little bit about, you know, your career and a little bit about, you know, what you hope can one day become a reality. But what has been some of the biggest challenges for you as a creator? Like, what was a moment where you really thought, like, holy shit, this is way too much for me?
Honestly, I have not really had a moment like that. I've had a moment where I was like, logically, I have too much stuff going on right now. I'm going to have to backburner one of these projects because Find Us Alive had to go on hiatus so I could finish Hymns. And I didn't want that to be the case, but I was just getting too crunched. But I've never really like, giving up has never really been an option for me. Because I would rather just be dead than not be making art as much as I possibly can. Working a normal job was a lot harder for me than it is for probably most people. I worked a 9-to-5 office job out of school, and I am not in the 20% of autistics that can be employed full-time. I got really depressed, and it was really bad for a long time. And yeah, I'm glad that I get to do this now, because I am not super suited for traditional employment, and that sucks. Because, you know, obviously America does not vibe with people that can't slot into the system very well. So
Yeah.
Here.
yeah.
Our own country hates us so much.
It's really tough being, like, I do not make a whole lot of money. Most of what comes in is usually going to my actors. I live on like $700 a month. It's pretty, I mean, I have amazing roommates that help me with a lot of things, and I'm super grateful for them. But like, it's hard to be paycheck to paycheck. But I would rather be paycheck to paycheck doing this than have more money in a job that makes me want to throw myself into the sea.
So, on the subject, because I know myself, Nolan, Fern, are you down with the TISM?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Me, my wife, my kid.
How
all of
does
us.
Yeah.
TISM
The wavelength.
Yeah. How has it been working on? Stop it. Working on some of your bigger projects like Find Us Alive and Hymns for the Road. Has it been more of a solo, like gather all of the pieces from the voice actors and things and then put everything together yourself?
Yeah.
Or have you sort of built a core team around that in order to keep the wheels turning?
It's pretty much just me. My friend Tabby, who voices Agent Love and Copper, and who lives directly above me, she runs the Patreon, which is massively helpful, and if I did not have her doing that, I would be a lot more stressed out than I am now. And then, the score for Find Us Alive is written by Jackson, who voices Lancaster, and the score for Hymns is written by Joshua David Mitchell, who is not a voice actor. He just wrote the music. So aside from the Patreon and the music, I do everything else myself. Tosh, who is the voice of Klein and also my GF, has helped me with some like communication with other people. Like she recently just got me an ad spot on Rusty Quill because she's amazing, and I'm bad at communication because of, you know, obvious reasons. But yeah, everything on the like post-production end is just me on my lonesome.
Is that something that you and coming from kind of the same wavelength and doing some of the same stuff, definitely not at the scale that you are, but I struggle with thinking like, hey, if I want to scale this bigger, I'm gonna have to bring in a team. I'm gonna have to hand over some of this stuff to somebody else. I'm gonna have to communicate. I'm gonna have to do all of this stuff, and that honestly stresses me the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I can say that it's held me back. Do you have like any of the same experiences with that?
It depends on the type of communication. I'm pretty decent at communicating with people who, like, for lack of a better phrase, like, work for me. Mm-hmm. You know, it's an indie operation, so even if I'm the one paying people, we're kind of on the same level still.
Yeah, 1099 is all.
For me, the tough thing is like external communication, like talking to advertisers or like, you know, people I want to review things, or like I usually just don't do it And I think the shows could have probably gotten a lot farther if I was better at that. But talking to, contractors, employees, I guess, hasn't been too tough, but a lot of it is just because I know a lot of the people already. Or they're like friends of a friend. And I feel like that's kind of a way to do it when you're small, is like find people in your circle who know certain things. 'Cause no one has to be like a studio level professional right off the bat, especially for audio fiction. You can get away with not being terribly great. I mean, look at me.
We think you're great.
Oh, thanks.
And if I had to put an adverb before that, I would say terribly great.
Yes. Great and terrible.
The great and terrible. Raddagher, the great and terrible.
What's the Galadriel line from Lord of the Rings?
There's so many.
When she's like freaking out about the ring. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Now I gotta Google it.
No, it's like, is it dark and terrible as the sea? Something like that.
Instead of a dark lord, you would have a queen, not dark but beautiful and terrible as the dawn, tempestuous as the sea, and stronger than the foundations of the earth.
Yeah,
All
that's me.
shall love me and despair.
That's me when I
that's
take
Raddagher.
over the SCP Wiki.
All shall love me and despair.
Our humble queen.
I'll rise through the ranks one day. I'll become the owner of the site. I'll destroy man,
administrator.
and I'll
The capital A administrator.
Yep.
What inspires you?
What inspires me? Other things that I watch and read and listen to. And like, I don't know, the lot of you. Like, I love the SCP community. I get a lot of inspiration from just like reading other people's works. But I read a lot of books. I watch a lot of movies. Yeah, I think that like inspiration, it's like filling up a gas tank. Like you can't output if you're not putting things in. And I am a diehard believer in like if you have art block or writer's block, it's because you need to like study something.
Consume.
Yeah, you need to watch things that are new and read some books and listen to a new album. Because no one is just like a bottomless fountain of inspiration. That's not. We rely on each other to make art. It comes from community.
Yeah.
I learned that in my first life going through college was when I would get writer's block, I had to write like some long ass paper or something. Just read. Just go and read some shit and the words will then come. And now I'm learning that in the creative spaces. If I'm having a block, like if I'm doing a screenplay or I'm doing some kind of adaptation and I can't figure out what the fuck to put in the picture, just go sit in front of the TV for an hour and the shit will come.
Yeah.
And it feels so weird doing that like this. I'm actually being productive. Click.
Yeah, that's like the hurdle that you have to get over.
Yeah.
Is that relaxing and intaking stuff actually is productive, even though we're taught that it's not. But if you're an artist, it's important.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that an autistic thing? I feel like that's an autistic thing. Like the struggle of sitting down and just bringing in. It's so hard to do because we're like, oh, we need to be doing something, but like we have to.
Yes.
It's an autistic thing. Yeah.
It's also an artist thing.
Yeah.
Because we're often taught that like art is not like a real job, or that it doesn't count as like being productive because it's not STEM or whatever. So.
Oh, and then also the Edison line is 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration. Like I need at least 10% of recliner time in there too.
Yeah, and it's while I don't get like writer's block per se, because sadly I'm not a writer. I'm not as talented as some people here.
Practice.
Yeah.
You could be. Practice more.
I have. The thing is, I have ideas and I really want to share them, but when I try to write them on the paper, it's fucking impossible.
That's because the writing is the hard part. Ideas are easy and cheap. Writing is the hard part. That's the part you gotta work for.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. But, yeah, it's like getting inspiration for the things you create. Like, I know that, like, we tend to, like, everyone can probably agree, we really enjoy things that are, like, original and creative, but, like, even then, the original things that are made are almost always inspired by something that came before it. So, like, something...
Always.
Something help mold the foundation of what would be. And because like for me, like I've worked with that because we are currently getting ready to start a D&D campaign that's being led by Gears. That's going to be like a live stream, like recorded thing. And it's like, you know, trying to create characters for this world, because it's not like a typical, like, you know, fantasy kind of setting. It's like, because like anyone who's read Gears know that he is phenomenal at writing like a fucked up kind of setting.
Yeah.
And he definitely is bringing that from everything that he's told us so far about this setting. And it's like trying to create characters for it. And for me specifically, the immediate thought was, I want to create a character that's based on one of my favorite things on the wiki, which is sarcasm, and specifically the Grand Karcist Ion.
Nice.
Because Meta is one of my, you know, favorite writers, not just on the wiki that I've ever seen, because he's fucking phenomenal. And, you know, sarcasm I've always really loved. And he's talked to me a little bit about, like, ideas that he's had about, like, you know, lore that he's wanted to get more into, about, like, one that he's actually is getting into, about, like, the origins of Ion and, like, how he actually became the Grand Karcist and everything. And, like, that really became an inspiration for me for, like, making my character, who basically does kind of have the same, like, origins as, you know, Meta's canon for Ion, which, I mean, I guess is just canon because he's the fucking author of him. But, yeah, basing it off of that, but not solely going off, because there's other things that I always consume that, like, immediately gives me the idea of, like, oh, this is what I want to do with it. Which another one is, like, I listen to Epic the Musical almost all the time on repeat. And I've got Fern hooked on it as well. And just listening to that music and watching the animatics that people have made for it, of, like, thinking of, like, truly, like, heartbreaking parts of the story that I hope to get for this thing that I'm creating, of, like, I forget, have you ever listened to Epic Musical, by the way?
Yeah. I'm an active TikTok user.
Okay, yeah, same.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, it really is just like that. When you feel stuck, you feel like you can't create something, or you feel like, oh, I need to make something completely new. It's not going to be new.
None of us have ever
Chances
made
are
something new.
someone else has. Yeah, chances are someone else has already done it. What matters is that it's your thing that's new.
Yeah.
Like, you take it and you put your spin on it.
Everything is the Epic of Gilgamesh. We're all just repeating stuff.
Yeah. Everything is an infinite cycle.
Yep.
To do the obligatory scripture reference, because there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
Everything is repeating.
It all rhymes.
Yep.
All right. Anything you want to plug?
Yes, go listen to my new show, Hymns for the Road. It's a surreal, tragic horror urban fantasy about a fucked up road trip and some fairy-like creatures. If you like SCP 4000, yes.
Taboo, right?
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
like
taboo.
if you like that, if you like Annihilation, if you like Spirited Away, it has a lot of DNA from those.
Nice.
It's a lot more graphically violent than Find Us Alive, though. So, just be prepared for that.
Here for it. Do you have a preferred platform? Like, if we could say, hey, you would rather people watch it on YouTube or listen on Spotify? Do you have a platform?
Wherever you get your podcasts. Most people do Spotify. It's on Spotify. It's on all of the most used things. Or you can go to hodgepodgeaudio.com, and that's where I've got all my stuff, like Find Us Alive and also the Duke Till Dawn short. They're all on there.
It has country roads.
All right.
Yeah.
And now that the interview portion is over, we get to check out what kind of fan mail people are going to force us to read this episode.
Excellent.
So, Fern, do we have any mail?
Oh yes, we do.
All right, from Twitter, I didn't find 8980 all that scary. Honestly, I kind of like Dr. Burns. What am I missing? Yasi.
No joke. I DM'd Yasi. I'm being like, hey, I'm interviewing Rad today. If you want me to embarrass myself in front of her, send me something cringe to say. And he just sent me this, and I'm like, you sick fuck. And he's like, hey, you asked.
To be fair.
But joke's on him, because I got Kelsey to read that. So now everyone get mad at Kelsey.
I've
because,
met him in real life, too.
They already are, man.
Yeah, Yasi is a fucking fantastic
He was
person.
also at Reforged, and we went around together on the second day, and he was pretending to be a fifthist, and it was really funny.
That's brilliant. That's
Oh
brilliant.
god, I would have loved to see that.
He was being a fifthist, and I was doing this whole thing where my character's entire goal was to make kissing illegal because it's gross. It was really fun.
I'm so
I mean, you got someone out there that would go for that, so
Listen,
I guess.
I had to be, like, Sherm has to be Sherm, obviously. He's got to do his Foundation Doctor thing. Toad King was being Toad King and being a sweetheart, and it was my job to be, like, the unhinged heel that was just being a freak the whole time. So, that's
The
what I did.
unhinged hism creature of the group.
Yeah.
The creature.
Anyways,
Just
hi,
fucking
Just walk around
OC.
handing out candy.
I
There's
loved
more
your
in there.
article, except, you know, loved in a way. It was deeply upsetting.
Oh yeah, we talked about it earlier. It's, god. I couldn't talk much about it without spoiling anything about it for anyone who hasn't read it yet, because god damn, that is one of the most horrid things I've ever written in a very good way.
Yeah, I think that is the only time I've read something on the wiki and had like a physical reaction. Just
Same.
awful. You should read it, listeners, viewers.
Yeah,
Give it
read
an upvote.
Yassi's and then immediately read Ori's after that.
Yeah, just go into the Anthology Hub and just read all of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tell
Yeah,
the
just
authors they're
upvote.
cute.
Yeah.
Now, Kith.
Just pushing them together like they're dolls.
Give him a little smooch.
Now Kith.
It's either this or get in the van, guys. I'm gonna make you wear the same shirt.
Eventually we'll get to the next one.
Anyway, Fern, what's next in our mail?
You got bills in there?
Are women bourgeoisie? By Fantem, asking the important questions.
Are women part of the bourgeoisie?
It's Are Women
Are they?
Bourgeoisie.
Are
Oh.
women
Are
bourgeoisie?
they?
Are they? Phantom, you would know.
Yeah,
Tell us.
No. Yes.
You're a woman. Tell us.
Yeah.
Does Bruno Mars is gay?
The
Does
rumor is
Bruno
out.
Mars?
I don't
is
know,
gay?
does he?
Bruno Mars is gay.
It's the question.
The question of the
That's all.
ages.
Yeah. Anyway,
Many philosophers are
speaking of
trying
gay
to answer.
shit, yeah. Speaking of gay shit, say Dr. Maxwell has a crush on you from Dr. Maxwell. That was another one that I had someone send
On
me.
which one of you? Doesn't specify.
Oh, we know.
Me.
Oh, on me.
Me, obviously.
He has a crush on me specifically. Yeah, because you know, for context, anybody listening that has no idea what the fuck we're talking about, you know, if you've watched our episode with Dr. Maxwell, which if you haven't, watch it. He's literally drunk off his ass the whole
Shit
time,
face.
and it's fucking hilarious.
That's so funny.
But yeah, Maxwell and I have this, you know, will they, won't they, sexual tension between us, like a real enemies to lovers situation. You know? It's like, you know, will he go gay? Will I get more gay for him? You know, it's like what's gonna happen next?
What's going to happen to
know?
the ratio of gay in this call?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
anyone's
How
guess.
far? Yeah, how far are things gonna go until we get demonetized for it?
It might be gravity bending.
We're monetized?
See, y'all should have had me on call on Friday night when I was baked out of my mind on animals.
Oh,
Like, I have a
We
bottle
could've
of
had-
tequila downstairs. I missed my opportunity.
Yeah.
You've had this on your schedule for a while.
Yeah, well, yeah,
you've
because
had.
I think you originally talked to me in like September,
Yeah.
and I was like, maybe wait a month because I'm literally dying under crunching all these episodes. But things have mostly, I'm almost done. I'm like in the final stretch, so I should be
Hell
done
yeah.
like this week or
Hell
next.
yes.
Finally, it's been like 3 years.
Yeah, you ran that Kickstarter. What?
2022,
Yeah.
and I had the script almost completely done. I think first drafts were done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I want to highlight for people. Like you don't understand, like the stuff you consume, that stuff has been being worked on for
It
years
takes
by the time
so
it
much
gets to your
longer than
eyeballs.
you think it does.
Yeah. So much longer and so much more money, so much more effort by so many more people than that doesn't just happen.
Yeah. That's why you gotta be sus of content farms. Because anyone that's putting out
Yeah.
a 10-minute animation every week is not being honest about something.
Yeah. They're going out back and picking it out of the cabbage patch.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're getting a bunch of people
All
to
right,
do it
next
who
in the
aren't
m-
paid very well. Yeah.
Next in the mail. Remember, folks, time is nonsense, gravity is our nemesis, and even if it's an insult to be required to maintain a corporeal form, you still have to do the survival stuff. From Raz, everyone's favorite residential auntie.
That
Thanks, Auntie
sounded
Raz.
like it could have been Bargain Bin Bill Cipher for a second.
I mean, they kind of are. I mean, they live in Ohio,
Sick.
so they're kind of dysfunctioned, sinking in and out of reality all the time.
Listen,
so
Ohio, Oregon, they both start with O, so they're basically the same state.
exactly.
Yes.
I don't know, man. Does Portland count?
No, it doesn't start with an
Which
O.
Portland?
Okay, that's a different. Yeah, true.
It has an O
Look,
in
I've
it.
been lost in the woods in North Dakota for the past 3 weeks. I finally got signal. I'm tired of eating squirrels and badgers. Please send a taco truck to. And that's from Phyrexian Hollow.
Oh god, I hope they're okay.
Taco truck is run by the badgers and squirrels, though, so
Yeah.
you ate all the
Yeah, that's plot
employees
twist
of
it
the
all.
taco truck. Whose fault is it now, really, if you think about it?
Yeah.
Who wrote this one?
Fern, you want to read this next one?
Who wrote this bullshit?
Yeah.
Next. Okay, so turns out finding a wood chipper in the middle of the city is shockingly easy. Crap ton of people need to get rid of bodies, it turns out. But I don't know if I want something more poetic. There's no comment there, I'm just sharing my mind.
God, who was the fucking loser that made that one?
Listen,
No idea.
listen,
It's a
everybody,
mystery.
viewers. There are 700 billionaires in the United States. I know people are talking about guillotine this, guillotine that, but the technology has progressed. Wood chipper.
Wood chipper. See, I'm onto
Yeah.
something.
That's all I'm
We're
saying.
saying that there's nothing wrong with going for a classic. We're just saying it's 2024. We can make something better.
Yeah.
Let's mix it up a little.
They've been doing it since
Yeah.
Fargo. What was that, late 90s?
Exactly.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
We've even got bigger wood chippers now. I mean, the wood chipper in that one isn't even that big. I love that movie. Coen Brothers, my beloved.
Yes, yes, yes. One of my earliest movie memories is Raising Arizona.
Burn After Reading is my favorite of
Oh,
theirs.
that's yeah, that one's great too.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like top
It's
10
still funny.
of my favorite movies.
The class I just finished, my audio class that I just finished, our instructor was the Big Lebowski. I've got pictures of this dude. He is Jeff Daniels. Daniels or Bridges? I don't know. Doesn't matter. He was
Bridges.
the Big Lebowski.
Jeff Bridges is Big Lebowski.
Bridges? Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking the other guy, Dumb and Dumber. Never mind. Jeff Bridges. Yeah.
That movie's also great.
I'm over here redacting my redacted. I got lotion on my redacted right now. I'm just containing my Keter class. I'm redacted as redacted. Man, I'm a freak man, like... And that's from Mike Vale.
The wiki in 2009.
Yeah.
Back when it was good because they didn't allow gay people on it.
Data expunged.
When they didn't let gay people in trying to trans our genders and whatnot.
They forget about the transgender stone that was right there from the
It's
beginning.
time for your mandatory parkour check. You can do the 1 block jump for the chicken or the 1 block vertical jump for the beef. From This Is Nolan.
Well, in
get that
parkour
reference.
civilization, nobody jumps for the beef.
I'm old. I don't know what that means.
Rad gets it. Me and Rad get it.
Yep. Yeah. We've been quoting that around my household for the last couple of days.
We got brain rot. Yes. Speaking of brain rot, I gotta do that.
Life is tough in
Straight up
parkour
storking it.
civilization.
Life is hard.
The Minecraft
Everything's a
YouTubers are
conspiracy.
reinventing the Chinese mandate of heaven.
Just look up
Fern,
parkour
can you get through this
civilization
one?
and straight
You'll
up
find it.
storking it. And by it, well, let's just say I forgot. By Summer St. Pierre. I forgot. I forgot.
I forgot.
Remember
Just straight up storking it.
I'm storking it.
me when I'm a bird with long legs?
To be fair, the mail actually says straight up stroking it, but storking it is much funnier.
Yeah.
in my
Listen,
opinion.
I like
made
to
that
pet
better.
birds with long legs. You don't get to judge me for what I do
Yeah.
in my free time.
Storking it.
Yeah, we don't
I'd
kink
be
shame
in the
on this
park
channel.
chasing down the herons.
For what purpose?
Isn't there
and
there a song called Strokin'?
There's probably several, I would imagine.
Probably.
Stroking out.
Yeah, I'm gonna find one and dub
People
it. to
do
say
love
Storkin'.
to stroke, from what I understand of humanity.
stroke.
Humans do be straight up jorking it.
At all times.
Oh god.
Storkin' my flamingo.
And our last email from Twitter was, "Your podcasts are pretty rad, Raddagher," from Rura.
Hi, Rura. Rura's been around for a long time. They've been listening
Yeah,
for like
Rura-
years.
Yeah, Rura is, an A+ human being,
Yeah.
Rura, if you're listening to this, we love you.
Rura, if you're listening to this, fuck you. Fuck you, I'm gonna kick your ass. That's a promise.
Which is the highest compliment you can get from Raddagher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, this is how we treat our audience, and they love us for it.
I'm gonna be antagonistic.
Fuck you, Fern. Email from the
Fuck you,
inbox.
Michael.
Fuck, Michael. Hey, you sly, considerate people. How all is going well for you? I'm camping ATM, so I definitely am all right. Question, favorite wine varietal? I like me some Moscato or Cabernet. Anywho, hope y'all keep being awesome. Hello.
I'm not a wine girly, I'm an absinthe girly.
Yeah, I'd have to say like a Riesling or a Sangria. I usually don't touch it.
Yeah, I'm just not really super into wine. I like cocktails. My roommate's a bartender.
Oh, jealous.
I would say whatever sounds fancy and expensive because I don't drink whatsoever. I will say that like since we're on the topic, a funny moment of why I don't drink is because my family wanted to celebrate my sister and I's 21st birthday before we left because we had to be at college like right as our birthday was going on. So
Are you
they
a
wanted
twin?
to celebrate that with us. Yeah, I'm a twin.
Cool.
Yeah. They wanted to celebrate our 21st with us before we had to leave to get back to school. So they didn't know what we like, so they just brought a fuck ton of alcohol over.
Because if it's your first time
And-
drinking, you don't like anything.
Yeah. And the first thing I ever tried to drink was a shot of Fireball.
Fireball's so gross.
Wait,
I
no,
know,
it's good.
but here's the
Horrible
thing,
idea.
though. Here's the thing.
Goes down like antifreeze.
But here's the thing. I didn't try to drink it like a shot. I
tried to sip it?
I thought my dumbass thought I just sipped it, and I was like tasting it, and I didn't know that's not what you're supposed to do because I spent the next like 30 to 40 minutes hacking out my lungs.
How did no one
because of
tell
it.
you? That's so sad.
I don't know.
L parents.
Nobody cared enough, I guess.
We'll see.
I knew
It's
it
not
was
as bad as the
awful,
time that
but
I
wow.
had my ex take a shot of whiskey when he has a gluten intolerance. Because I didn't realize that whiskey's wheat.
Yeah.
He was fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all
Oh my
right.
god.
But you don't expect the gluten to translate. You really don't.
No,
Yeah,
like I
it's
mean,
like,
neither of us caught it, so
It doesn't even seem scientifically reasonable for that to
No.
be a thing that happens. But
yeah. Man,
Yeah, it's
my
like-
roommate though has absolutely ruined my palate because she makes incredible drinks and buys like
God, I love
pretty nice like liquor.
does she practice at home too?
Oh yeah. She
Yeah.
like makes
Yeah,
us
that's
drinks for free. It's
Oh god.
Oh, I'm
it's
jealous.
crazy. Yeah.
Fern's favorite wine is the Welch's grape juice they use for communion and tell everybody that it's wine.
Not even close to true. I'm the only one here who actually does drink wine. So I'm the one who's actually going to have an actual serious answer for this one, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
I live in Mexico.
Lay it on us.
Here in specifically Baja California, there's a specific strain of wine called Nebbiolo. That is my favorite. That or a rosé, a white Zinfandel, a red Zinfandel, Moscatos, Tempranillo. I can go on and on because I actually like wine. So, yeah. Nebbiolo.
Props to you for being the token wine guy.
I like Nebbiolo. Yeah, you finally got the wine guy in the episode for the wine question. Funny.
Yeah.
I swear I didn't talk
Well, it's
to
cool that you have a
Paul
real
Rowan.
answer,
He has
though.
no
Yellow.
idea.
You're just saying words, man. I think you made half of that up.
Yeah.
You would never be able to know. You would never be able to know.
No, especially not over here
Yeah.
in alcohol is barely legal land.
Yeah.
I know, sucks
Yeah.
for you guys.
All of our terrible
But also-
state-owned liquor stores.
Well, there's probably like alcohol, like ABV restrictions and shit. There's probably wines that they can't even bring into Utah.
Probably. I would believe that. They don't sell mini bottles here.
What a sad life.
Yeah.
I know.
Satan's playground.
My friends just went to Denver like last weekend and we went to like the big alcohol Costco and we're like, wow, they have mini bottles. And everyone's like, yeah, what do you mean?
yeah, Denver's a good time, and you don't have to drink that much because altitude.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
The mountains.
I spent a week there one time. I got altitude sickness, and I thought it was just a thing that people like told people, like, hey, when you go to Denver, be careful, you'll get altitude sickness. Like, I thought it was an urban legend or whatever. It is not. That shit fucking hurts.
I'm in northern Utah, which is also up pretty high, so yeah, it's not that different from here.
Literally got a nosebleed climbing 2 flights of stairs. Like, I got to the top
Yep.
and my nose was bleeding. I was like, what is this? I don't like it.
Nope.
But it's such a
Honestly,
cool
I
place.
would rather get altitude sickness than have to live like 7 to 8 months in like 120-degree weather down here.
Yeah.
Nope. Couldn't imagine.
Or humidity,
It's-
My
honestly.
entire life in the valley.
It's too
What
hot.
we're saying is Utah sucks. That's the takeaway we can get from this.
Utah has its pros and cons. It honestly has some of the most beautiful like scenery I've ever seen. There's there's some absolutely wild nature here.
Yeah, like Zion Zion National Park is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Arches, unbelievable. But then there are the roads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there are the very fucking crowdedness if you live where I live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We are one of the places where like so many people moved to during COVID. And it fucking exploded in population
Oof.
During that time. Like the roads are so overcrowded. There are like car accidents constantly here now because of it, and it's. I mean, thankfully I don't have to worry about that because I take the bus everywhere. But
Yeah, same.
yeah.
Real quick, Sherm responded to me. So I just texted him, "Hey Sherm, Nimcel." He responds with, "Damn it, what a terrible word." It's your fault, man. You made the word.
Yeah, you introduced us to it.
Coined it.
I'm gonna message him that as soon as this episode is done.
There we go. We're gonna just
What a guy,
spam
Sherm.
Sherm with Nimcel.
We love you.
Another person who was taller than I expected.
He does seem like he'd
if
be
you want to
sneakily
annoy
tall.
Sherm, text Nimcel to him right now.
Just
To all
tag
of our
him every
listeners.
source you have.
All caps.
Nimcel.
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 Sherm's about to
Just
get
the highest
Nimcel
trending on
rated.
Twitter tomorrow. Nimcel.
And it's all at Sherm.
Yeah.
See, we can take the teeth out of this term if we just make it refer to Sherm specifically.
Yeah.
He's the Nimcel.
Yeah.
It's not a
He
generalized
is the
term
definitive
anymore.
Nimcel.
Yeah.
There has never been a greater Nimcel than Dr. Sherman.
I mean, he really kind of
There
is.
has never been more Nim a cell.
Really
I can
nims
hear the
my
music
cells.
starting. Like we're about to break into song and dance.
Oh, I thought you meant they were playing us out.
Oh no. Kind of yes.
We're fading out over the credits right now.
The music will go in post.
Yeah.
I just made it up. That's all we have for this week. Thanks to our patrons, Arsfel, Ian Anderson, Evan McDonnell, and Oni Mass Productions for supporting us on Patreon. Your support helps us keep the lights on. Intro and outro music was Caught You at the Perfect Time by Superintendent McCupcakes. SCP Weekly is distributed by Smooth Cadence Productions. SCP Weekly is not affiliated with the SCP Foundation Wiki, and as such, the opinions presented in this program are our own and do not necessarily reflect those of the Wiki or its staff.
Music is provided by Epidemic Sound.
Content relating to the SCP Foundation, including the SCP Foundation logo, is licensed under Creative Commons Sharealike 3.0, and all concepts originate from the SCP Wiki and its authors. This recording, being derived from this content, is also released under CC by SA 3.0. Until next time, I'm Kelsey.
I'm not Cassie.
Fern, that's you.
And I'm Nolan. The K is still silent. And this is SCP Weekly.
Damn, feeling lucky. How about most streets? Us two in these trees. Diamonds on my feet. Caught up in these talks. Circling my head top. Should have been more cautious. Now I got what I wanted. Many I've been here before. Made it out of 11 more. Like my frontal cortex sore. I can't stop, I want it all. Listen up, I'm calling you. I need you to tell the truth. Remember when you wanted to. Remember that I said what you. Turn around, eat your greens. When you fight, but you do real clean. Then you come to the bed and you love real dirty. You tell by the sweater drops, you're real keen. Bring it, let me get your juiciest piece. Can't remember when I've had the same please. The shops of the club never had no boundaries. How's it gonna be? You wanna eat these centipedes? Where we gonna go? You're gonna need these calories. Giving me a treat to refill these batteries. Then you only them on your knees, there's no way to dream. Ooh, it's sneaking up on you. There's nothing you can do. There's things about the boo. Ooh, it's sneaking up on you.